Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a comparison on the new TSR2 and TSR3 fairway woods. Ian, you've had TSR2 and 3 in your bag for a couple weeks now?
Yes, TSR3 driver, TSR2 plus fairway wood. So I actually haven't spent any time extensively with either of these fairway woods. So yeah, definitely a test I'm looking forward to getting into. When we were down at Oceanside, we were kind of discussing my purpose for the 3 wood, normally a backup off the tee. But we were kind of obviously busy doing other things that day. Wasn't kind of, we didn't have a lot of time to kind of, dive all the way through, and, probably didn't give 3 as much time as I would have liked to. That's one I'm really curious about. And for everyone who's curious about the difference between the two, we're going to put them to the test. Same shaft, same settings, same setup, and really see what golfer is for which head. Your
current shaft spec, graphite design, UB 7X?
Yeah, quite like it. Yeah, I'm getting used to it. I'm enjoying the TSR2 Plus, certainly as an off-the-tee club. I've been hitting it a little bit, but I maybe do find the versatility, if I do need it to be a little more versatile, isn't quite there. I love my little TSR3 5-wood. That's kind of given me the nudge to maybe give the 3 a chance. I love the feel, love the sound. It does feel a little different.
Love it. Okay, so we've got the green 275. We're going to start with TSR3 there.
3.
Setting on that?
Just got it in D1.
Okay.
So I've got it down at neutral lie angle, 14.25 loft. Obviously TSR2 Plus at 13. A1 was the setting we had that on. And I've got the weight track in just neutral.
Neutral, cool.
Not a bad opener, Mikey. A little heely, perhaps. Maybe kicked up the spin a little bit.
Good miss.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty centered. Felt a little more heely than that. That's what the middle feels like, Mikey boy. Felt better. Like that one.
Sounds so good.
It really does, doesn't it?
We played on the weekend, and a couple of times you hit it off the tee. It's just that classic look and such a classic sound to this Titleist fairway wood.
If I could drop numbers for fairway wood off the deck, it would be those.
Yeah.
13 and 2800. That's for me is ideal. Good peak height, obviously decent on smash and efficiency. I would take that all day long. That's a perfect window for me. I think what I've been struggling with TSR2 Plus, which is why I like it off the tee, but I don't fall in love with it off the ground, I don't get that launch with it. I think if we go back to, the numbers from Oceanside, probably 10 and 11 was more like the regular launch with it. Even though that CG is deeper with that kind of wider body, I definitely don't get that launch as good as that. That was nice.
And from these first couple strikes, you feel like you have a bit more workability with the TSR3 than TSR2?
Yeah, workability would definitely be in there. I mean, it just more of a compact head, sits a fraction open, quite like that. I can see a bit more loft.
Yeah.
For me, the top line and the paintwork kind of rolls into the face a little bit too much for me on the TSR2 Plus, which kind of robs me of seeing a little bit of loft. But for players who are looking for that sense of they've got something a bit stronger in the hands, they might love that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for something that feels like I can get up in the air a little more. Those would be as good as I can hit a fairway. 262 is as good as I've got.
Perfect shape too. Good strike.
Yeah, pretty good. I think the second one was as good as I've got. That's a nice normal one.
Yeah.
Similar ball speeds, 153. Yeah, launch came down, spin came up fractionally, so that's where the 10 yards went. But peak height, 109 versus 111, so it's still same window. I wouldn't be trying to fly my 3-wood any further than 250 off the deck, never. No, under no circumstances in a flat cam environment am I ever trying to fly it more than 250.
Couple more?
Yeah. Good miss, heel. So, the TSR3 is the player's one, the smaller head. Kind of missing that a little low and into the heel, but no penalty, really.
No.
No penalty at all. Love to see, guys, when we're missing golf shots and we're especially into the heel, we know it's a slightly slower part of the head. We know it does kick the spin up a little bit. one thing to look for, and Ping coined the spinsistency term, and I do love to see that when you miss it. What does your spin rates and launch angles do? How do they fluctuate? And so nice to see that when they're, it's a really nice window.
Yeah.
You know, didn't feel like a good strike at all, and it was right there. So I still retained my 250 carry quite nicely.
It's not putting you in trouble, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Okay, Fraz, TSR2, 15-degree D1 setting here. Thoughts on looks right out of the gates?
It looks friendly.
Yeah.
Looks like you could hit it up in there. Looks like a forward to me. Actually, I feel like I can see more loft. Yeah, a little bit of a bigger footprint. I mean, cheesy as it is, it feels like it's, you know, it feels like it's a bit like my TSR2 Plus, but also a bit like my TSR3 at the same time. So, you know, it seems like it's got the kind of best of both. I think this is, maybe for slower swing speeds, I think this is definitely the go-to one. I can just see how friendly it's going to be right out the gates.
That's it. Great swing.
Huh. Surprised how good that was.
Yeah.
Didn't think it would kind of launch and spin as good as that.
I feel a little missy.
No, it felt lovely. Yeah, it was right out the button, but I just didn't. Yeah, just by looking at how much loft I can see, I just thought it might just kind of puff up in there a little bit, but it was very, very nice. Huh. That was the miss. Fraction toy. That felt like it could have got away from me.
Take 1,000 misses like that.
Yeah, that was really good.
Sounded good.
It feels ridiculously easy to hit. And that's thin Healy.
Thin healing, like you said, it's still 245-ish, almost 250 carry.
Yeah. Yeah, spin isn't outrageous by any means.
That sounded really good. A little lower.
No, slightly Healy. All right, back to the 3. I mean, I like them both. Really do. It's trying to pick between your two best pals here.
I mean, that longer heel to toe off TSR2, the forgiveness makes it look easier, but that deeper face, a little bit of TSR3.
I know.
I have TSR3 in my 5-wood, and I just love the look of it. It looks almost
isn't it?
very old-fashioned, persimmon-like.
All right, let's move that a little more into the toe.
Let's go T1.
Let's go T2. So yeah, so there's an example probably of some of the ones I would get in the course. Maybe fancy a specific shot and swing at it a little bit more. Strike moves to the toe a little bit. Just lose it a hair to the left. And that's where hopefully that CG location moving toe side's a bit more in our favor.
Okay.
That felt unreal.
Great swing. Sounded so good.
That felt insanely good.
Go in. Oh. One and done.
Similar strike, tendency. That's a bit more toy there, but held its line a fraction more. When we look at that over on the right-hand side where the green is and that little circle around the green, I mean, we're talking about a 275 shot here. You know, you're not really expecting yourself to be any good, not any good, but consistent anyway from that distance. No, this feels unreal. I mean, a hair scrapey, so I'll probably lose a little spin into the high 2000s.
And that is the session done.
That's nice.
I mean, you take that dispersion from 170 yards.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so back into round 2 with TSR2, and the difference is we've been able to modify TSR3 there just to mask a little bit of that miss out in the toe side. We don't have that option with TSR2, unfortunately. We do have the sole plate. We can customize swing weight and obviously match length and all that sort of stuff, but we're not able to make nearly as much of an impact with regards to the sort of CG location from a depth perspective. So this one's going to be one that either works for you or it doesn't within the sort of adjustability of the loft sleeve here.
Yeah.
Good miss.
Yeah. A little lower peak
Little
height.
thin,
but
yeah. A little bit thinny.
Great strike.
That felt good. Yeah, so this one's got a gear as well. I mean, that can crank up a little bit if you want it to, up into the high 150s ball speeds, which is, again, nice. You know, nice to have that option if you want it. But I mean, I'm kind of splitting hairs between the two of them, and you know, maybe just leaning towards the TSR3 just with that weight adjustability.
I think for your tendencies, if you can slide a weight behind it and kind of protect it.
Yeah.
You said you hit one when we moved the weight, and you're like, this is unreal. You know, we said one and done, but it was very, very consistent. This is great. It just doesn't protect you as much.
No, it doesn't. Not quite as much, but I do feel like I'm going to stand up there, and actually I feel like I'm probably going to hit a slightly better bad one with this one, if that makes any sense as well. So I really see the value in both. Yeah, really like them both.
Cool. Take a look at some numbers.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Well, short of providing Titleist with an infomercial, we've ended up with very similar ball speeds, exactly the same launch angle. Shocker, TSR3 spins a little less.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean, identical carries. I mean, that's quite a lot of shots we've dug out there for that, and to see them come out that similar is quite fascinating. 107 on both, and club head speed. Delivered loft, obviously a reflection of CG location. Guys, we talk about that a lot. Don't think that just because a club is at the same static loft, at the same loft sleeve position, that we are going to see the same dynamic loft. We're not. The CG is going to have an influence on that. Yeah, I did notice that, you know, we were seeing different dynamic angles flatter with the TSR2.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Face angle staying a bit more open, and dynamic a little bit more toe down, and then really pretty much a wash when it came to path and angle of attack. So a cool little test.
Yeah, a test like this, especially for if something's going to go in your bag, now comes down to, you know, it's up to you, right? What do you like the best, or what sits at address the best for you? Again, as a fitter, TSR3 with that adjustability after was really good.
Wasn't it? It was in a really nice spot, and I think both of them, when I kind of maybe pushed their limits a little bit, you know, stood up really nicely. I did love the gear that TSR3 had. If you want to push one, that kind of feels like maybe a off the tee swing as well sometimes. Maybe the depth of head as well for me off the tee might be a little bit more favourable. So yeah, I'm probably going to lean a hair towards 51-49 though, you know, towards TSR3.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 felt incredible. And I think there'll be lots of 2s in play. I do remember TSI2, we were super pro the aspects of that, you know, talked about how many tour players were moving into the TSI2. I think it's going to be the same this way around.
Yeah.
Nobody needs fairway wood to be hard work.
No, I mean, it was impressive to see. Really good.
Very good. Okay, guys, we're actually going to dive into the drivers as well. We're going to do a TSR2 versus 3 driver review. I expect that one to be a little bit more different. This actually shook out much closer than I thought it would. I thought it would have been a little bit more you know, cut and dried, which provided you with which ball flight characteristics. But it just goes to show you, you know, you match up the specs, you match up the shaft. We did with D1 setting, the UB7X shaft in the same length, same player. It was remarkably similar.
Yeah, it was twins.
Twins.
Crazy.
Not a bad thing. Okay, stay tuned for the driver video, TSR2 versus TSR3. We'll see you again soon.